Ready to hit the pause button on your parenting fails? Ready to feel better about your parenting? Welcome to Parenting Pause, the podcast, where all of you is welcome. I'm Leslie Potter, the founder of the Pure Joy Way, a mother, a parent coach, and a fellow traveler on this journey to wake up in our parenting. And I believe together we can make this a better world for ourselves and our kiddos. Stories are a big part of our parenting journey. So many stories, ideas, beliefs, fantasies, nightmares. So much of our parenting journey is made up of our stories. And most of the time, those stories are about the past or they are about the future. I don't know about you, but oh my gosh, when my child was young and had behaviors that were scary for me, I would just project way out into the future of how she wasn't going to be able to function, or she was always going to live at home, or she wouldn't be able to get a job. And what was happening in the moment had nothing to do with the future. It had to do with that present moment and my refusal to be intimate with that moment. Now, again, you may have this. I find most parents do. And so it's not to blame yourself or your fault that you don't know how to come intimate in that moment, because most of us were trained from the time that we were very, very young to always be thinking about the future. What do you want to be when you grow up, right? That's one of the biggest ones that people, ask you from the time you're 3 or 4 years old. What do you want to be when you grow up, right? Versus who are you right now? And I want to be with you right now in this present, just like my dog barking there, right? I can make up all kinds of stories about my dog barking and what you're going to think, and it's not professional and I should start over, but it's actually what is. So when I step into the intimacy, it's usually I feel a bit of discomfort because I'm very familiar with my stories, and so are you. We're very familiar with our stories of how parenting is supposed to go, how we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to do. But when I move into the intimacy of my dog barking when I'm recording, there's discomfort, right? Because immediately I go to the story instead of just feeling into that discomfort, being intimate with it, being intimate with reality. Not from a place of judgment, because judgment is all about the story, about what does it mean. So as I do that, I'll show you right in this moment as we sit together. I just notice that I get a little tight. I notice my body tenses up. And so I just take a moment and I pause, take a breath, and I just go into my awareness of my body. And my body is acting as if something is dangerous because it's tightening. It's going into hypervigilance. I can feel a tightness in my chest. I can feel my stomach kind of gurgling. And so I just check in. I just take that moment. This is the intimacy. Well, this is what's happening. What if there's no story that's right or wrong? And I just come into the intimacy of my body and I check out. Is it dangerous to be intimate with this moment? No. Only my stories create danger about what this means. And again, we were trained so early, not to embody and to experience that present moment, but to be told what it means about the future, or where we're going to be able to go, or what we're going to be able to do, or how we're going to be in the future. And again, remember the future is often based on the past. So if we had some experience as children about the past, and our template comes forward, our parenting template, comes charging forward, which it will when you get triggered. Again, we will refuse to come into the intimacy of that moment. And often that moment, if you're not living out of your story, you will experience some discomfort. And that's what we're trying to get away from by controlling our children's behavior, by withdrawing love, by avoiding the moment. Our story is, in a way, that if we really come down into that present moment, we're going to miss the future. We won't raise our children to be whatever. We won't teach them. They won't be responsible. So we love to go into that future story versus coming down into the discomfort of maybe that present moment, of actually showing up with ourselves. Because if we're feeling discomfort, you can imagine what our children are feeling. So can you really just take a moment and just imagine presence, just meeting the discomfort without judgment, without a story, without a conclusion. Now, of course, that's what your mind is always going to want to do. That's what minds are trained to do. So you're going to have to bring your awareness into the discomfort in your body and offer it kindness, offer it presence, and find out, is it dangerous to embody and stay present with this moment? Woo! It's a big one. It's challenging because we're so trained to go the other way. But I want you just to practice this week. Just see what it's like to just practice dropping out of the mind, even through the feelings, into your beautiful body. Thank you for listening to this episode of Parenting Paused. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a favor and share it with your mama friends. You can also leave a review wherever you listen, which will support getting the Pure Joy message out. Come on over to the Pure Joy Parenting Practice Facebook page or join me on Instagram to hear more. And don't forget to download your free copy of the Safe Seat course on the Pure Joy website. And while there, check out the offerings page to go deeper in the Pure Joy work.